Good morning. We are here today with the return of Roger Pearce. Roger Pearce had previously appeared at the Undercover Policing Inquiry due to his role as an undercover officer in the 1980s, where he infiltrated the anarchist movement, particularly Freedom Press. He's back today as head of Special Branch. I'm John McDonald O'Driscoll of the Undercover Research Group. What can we expect from Pearce today?
Well, given we've seen him previously and he gave a full, honest and truthful account of his time undercover, I expect an equally Oscar-winning performance in how he's failed to manage the entirety of Special Branch. Because he's not just head of the SDS in this case, he's the head of all the Special Branch, and worse, he's the head of all intelligence gathering for the Metropolitan Police, including oversight of its actual genuine undercover unit, not the SDS.
Yeah, he's had so many roles in management. It is a bit ridiculous he's only here for one day. There's so many things that he could be asked about. We saw yesterday that the vast majority of questioning of Colin Black was around the Stephen Lawrence inquiry, something he claimed to know nothing about. What do you think they're going to focus on with Roger Pearce?
I think we're going to get a lot of the same questions because he's pretty much the same period. Some of the big oversights, such as the Lawrence inquiry. I think he's just after the Lawrence inquiry, but you have the Mink raid, you have J18, you've all the relationships. You got Rosa and Helen tracking down the undercovers in their lives. So there's a lot, and he's the next one up. So he's a key link between the head of the Metropolitan Police with news. So and everything goes through him. Now we know as an ex-undercover, he was favoured by the undercovers and those in the management like Lambert because they felt he's one of theirs. He was undercover at the time when we started. Well, by the time all bad practice had already really settled in. So he ought to have known. I expect to be a lot of, I just trusted my superintendent. It wasn't really me. They were all great and wonderful officers. So I think we're going to see a lot more of the same. And it should be remembered, though, he's already written several very, very awful books and given TV interviews about where he touches on subjects like this.
There's definitely something about him. He can't really play the sort of I don't remember card simply because he's appeared before. He's written about this sort of stuff, though. They are works of fiction. There's a lot to suggest that he drew heavily on his experiences as an undercover.
Well, the murdering of an activist, I hope not.
Well, you would hope not, but it gives you a sign of what he'd like to have done.
Yes, very much. I was speaking to some people here earlier today who haven't read the book, and we're just talking about the pure misogyny in those books. So we imagine that is going to carry over.
Yes, very much. And of course, in the books, one of the undercover officers has a child with an activist.
I wonder where he got that.
Where could he have possibly? Yeah.
I think he'll say that because there was women in the police, therefore there's no institutional sexism, can't be misogynist, they can't be racist because they've had people of color in the police. This sort of nonsense. Hopefully, I think it's Don Ramble, I'm not entirely certain, will pin him down and actually look the documents say you knew what was going on. If you didn't have oversight of this, either you've been lied to and you're throwing your subordinates under the bus and not taking responsibility, or you're just bullshitting. Yeah,
absolutely. Because he had so many different roles, though, it'll be a case of he'll have to shit down at some point, shit up others, and it puts him in a kind of a strange situation because he's had all these different roles.
Yeah. And another role he has is the oversight of the National Public Order Intelligence Unit, which is set up in this period, and he had not entirely sure how much of a role, but he's definitely in there. So, unfortunately, I don't think the inquiry are going to go there. We may have to have him in Tranche 4 for that.
Yeah.
But, they need to be doing because we need to be understanding how all the bad practice in the SDS is getting passed over to these other units. And our concern is mostly with the MPYU. But as I said earlier, he also oversaw SO10, the Metropolitan Police's professional undercover unit. So how much was he allowing bad practice in that as well? Is there a bigger scandal to be found?
I think we all know there's much bigger scandals to be found. But certainly that's a whole area that's not being explored at all. It's outside the terms of reference of the inquiry, which is very frustrating. But he, like, at the very least, if he's aware of the supposed good practice in SO10, then it should even more drawn into like what the craziness that was going on the SDS.
Yeah. So a question I hope they put to him is about why the SDS felt that they were too different from SO10. You know, they really have we're a special branch, we're separate, and you know, the Jewel and Crown Elite, we don't need training. He clearly has a former SDS is going, so that, you know, I don't think it'll be put to him, but it's a really important question.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a comment, just someone saying we want Barr. I mean, certainly David Barr KC is the senior counsel of the inquiry. I think he's the one with the best oversight of the documents, and has been the most effective, really, of all the counsels in terms of interviewing the witnesses. But we can't have him every day. It's like chips.
It's like, I know it takes weeks for them to prepare, and some of them, you know, are really, you know, pushed right to the limit in terms of preparing. I think to give everything to the bar would just exhaust the man. But I do appreciate, Barr pin, you know, he's a pro wrestler basically.
Yeah, I can imagine him coming back for Sir Paul Condon, the former head of the Met, when he gives evidence next week. Is that next week? I lose track.
That's next week. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, next week. So look out for that one. But it's an earlier start today. The hearing will start at 9:45, which means the broadcast will start at 10 a.m. I can imagine there's a lot to get in. It could well be a very late one again today.
It says they're trying to end for 5. We'll see.
Really? Okay, we'll see.
It has been a late one the last few days. It's been quite exhausting.
Yeah. It's been a lot. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody who's liked and shared these videos. Anything else to add? See you all at the lunch break. I've hopefully got a new person join me at the morning break. I've got a new person then, giving their first reactions to the first time they've been at the inquiry.